Lights. I love it. All right. Are you ready for a rip-roaring good time today? Wow. All right. I like that. Well, how many of you have been to a melodrama before? Raise your hand.
Yes.
Okay, 2 of you. For those of you who haven't, I'm the master of ceremonies, and it's my job to explain not only the play, but the characters to you. Now, in a regular play, people come out, they perform, they do their thing, and there's no communication between the actors and the audience. That just doesn't seem right to me. In fact, it seems outright rude. But in a melodrama, the actors can speak directly to you, the audience. That's cool. Now, how they do this is by what they say in theatrical terms is an aside. And when an actor does an aside, he or she will put their hand up like this. Now, when they do this, that's where it gets really interesting. Because only you, and of course, the master of ceremonies, can hear what they're saying. The other cast members can't hear a word they're saying. I don't know how that works, because it certainly hasn't worked for me at home with my wife. And believe me, I tried.
God, it's definitely a woman.
I would say, I wish she'd leave me alone so I could watch the U.S. Open.
I heard that.
Hi, honey. You still here? Anyway, so we are going to get started here with our melodrama. It has many reoccurring characters, and our melodrama is no different. So, what I'm going to be doing is explaining to you who these characters are and how you should respond to them. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, first, a man so evil.
How evil is he?
So evil he makes Charles Manson nervous. I'm speaking, of course, of none other than Hagloe Crab, the dastardly villain.
What?
Dastardly. I said dastardly.
Oh.
Anyway, when he comes out, we want everyone to boo and hiss. I'm going to give you a chance to let me know how you can do this now. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Sounded like over here somebody, the combination of boo and hiss was hoos. That won't work. Okay? I don't know. Pick one or the other. Next, our heroine. Not the drug. I'm speaking, of course, of the lovely, kind Honey Gold. When she comes on stage, we want everyone, yes, to do that. Aww. On the count of 3 now. 1, 2, 3. Aww. Nice. Anyway, next, our rugged and handsome hero, Sheriff Adam S. Permain. Don't get too excited, ladies. He's not nearly as good looking in real life.
Hey!
He's a little sensitive, too. Anyway, when he comes on stage, we want everyone to cheer. Let's give it a try on 3. 1, 2, 3! Very good. Next, the femme fatale. I'm speaking of Roxbury Russet. Drop dead gorgeous. A red-hot mama with an ice-cold heart. When she comes on stage, we want everyone's best wolf whistle and cat call. Now, y'all remember what a cat call sounds like, don't you? We want your best construction worker, wolf whistle, and cat call on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. That's just about it, but don't worry. Now, I'm going to be sitting right here with signs, just in case you forget. Now, our melodrama takes place in the little town way out west called Ambrosia during the annual Ambrosia Apple Blossom Festival. But not all is well. Gee, we practiced that too. There's dirty deeds about to be done, so sit back, relax, as we present Act 1 of, drum roll, please. This is what happens when you're an equal opportunity employer. Send you my paperwork. As we present Act 1 of Avarice in Ambrosia, or Oil Be With You in Apple Blossom Time.
I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Why? Ever since Roxy's Roost Saloon and Casino opened up next door, serving liquor and Lord knows what else, well, business at Ambrosia has dropped off to where I can barely make the payments. Not to mention my sweet granddaughter, a honey gold. She's having trouble making payments on the apple farm and might lose it too. Oh, if only that son-in-law of mine would have spent more time farming apples instead of prospecting for gold, well, he might have left her a mite better off before he passed on.
Granny! Oh, Granny!
Speaking of the angel herself, here's my darling granddaughter now.
Good morning, Granny Smith. Isn't it a lovely day? I do so enjoy this time of year. Everything is so festive during the Ambrosia Apple Blossom Festival. Oh, good morning, Reverend. I see you've been up late studying again.
The conspectus of a doctrinal anthropomorphism!
Good morning, granddaughter. And what brings you out so bright and early?
I just came by to get some apple butter, Granny. I'm going to bake an apple pie for our handsome sheriff, Adamus Permain.
Apple butter? She's so sweet. Butter cooking could choke a horse. Thank you. He just bugged me right there. Anyway, wow. Why are you going to all that trouble? I got plenty of pies here.
Oh, no, Granny. I want to make it with my own hands as an expression of my affection. Besides, haven't you always told me that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach?
Well, yes, I suppose I have. Assuming what goes in his stomach don't stop his heart. Well, I've got a good idea. Why don't you come by later and we'll bake the pie together?
Oh, Granny, that sounds wonderful. Thank you. Goodbye, Reverend.
How can she be going on. I just don't understand it. Well, I guess I better get to the apple pie fixins for my granddaughter. I sure hope that sheriff knows the suffering I'm a-saving him from.
Howdy, Granny Smith.
Why, it's Ben Davis. He's the faithful deputy of our very own sheriff, very handsome too, Adam S. Permain. Why, folks say he's the fastest gun in town. Excepting his eyesight's so bad, he can't hit the broadside of a barn. I'm over here, deputy.
Oh, sorry. Business any better today?
I'm afraid not. Ever since Roxy's Roost Saloon and Casino opened up next door, things have been mighty slow around here.
Well, it looks like you got at least one customer. Is he drunk?
Land sakes, no. Why, that's Reverend W. Wilkes. You know, Tam Parsons. He don't drink any more than I do.
Well, why's the Reverend there sleeping at one of your tables?
Well, he's been up late every night this week, studying for his Doctorate of Divinity degree exam by mail at John Chapman Seminary. He just stopped by on his way home from church and just fell fast asleep.
My doctrine of the Trinitarianism is a consubstantial.
I just didn't have the heart to wake him up, the poor exhausted dear. Why, Benjamin Davis, what in tarnation do you have all over your clothes?
Well, I was doing a little prospecting over yonder at Honey Gold's farm. I tripped over a bucket of oil she had setting up next to her buckboard. I guess she was fixing to grease the wheels, and I didn't see it. They're spilled all over the ground. I guess I'll have to pay her back for the oil, though. Stuff's getting expensive. I don't understand why, though.
Oh, you and your prospecting. Why, my son-in-law hunted for years on that property and never found a single ounce of gold.
Well, legend has it that the Lost Cobbler Mine is south of Ambrosia, and that's right where Honey Gold's farm is.
Well, even if the legend was real, south is mighty vague. Why, it could be anywhere between here and Brazil.
Now, Granny Smith, you should not go talking out loud about women's skivvies like that. The Reverend right there might hear you.
Arminianism versus a Calvinism within the extensive confines of ecclesiology.
Guten Tag, Grandmother Schmidt and Deputy Davis.
Well, I don't have to see good to recognize that accent. How you doing there, Doc Ravenstein?
That's Gravenstein, Deputy, and howdy to you too. I was just making my rounds and wanted to stop in and get some of Granny Schmidt's apple strudel and take back to my office.
Well, you're in luck. I just happen to have made some up fresh this morning. Here you go.
Just like Mother used to make in the old country.
Was that Germany or Austria?
Cleveland, Ohio. By the way, Deputy, what happened to your clothes?
Oh, I was doing a little prospecting over at Honey Gold's farm and tripped over a bucket of oil.
Oh, still looking for the gold, eh, Deputy? You know I am thinking there is obsession going on there. You know, besides medical doctor, dentist, optometrist, and the veterinarian, I am trained psychiatrist. You should come by my office and we will talk about your problem.
Well, I ain't crazy, Doc.
Oh, you shouldn't be afraid of doctor. We have made great medical strides. You know, I have even heard that they have been working on a machine that can see inside of your body without cutting it open.
Wow, that's amazing!
Yeah? Such modern marvels will be commonplace before you know it. You know, I think they will cure the common cold next. Oh, small talk. I must get back to my office. Mrs. Brayburn's hund is expecting puppies.
Expecting what?
Puppies. Tiny puppies, you know. Babies.
Oh, puppies!
That is what I said. You people on your funny actions. Auf Wiedersehen.
See inside your body? Well, that just ain't natural. I don't want no one looking at my innards. Them doctor types are just plain scary.
I wouldn't worry about it none, Ben. You know Doc is always getting excited about something or other. Now you best be going home and get cleaned up. It wouldn't do for any more town folk to see you parading around all covered in oil.
Did someone say oil? That's all right, I booed when you came in too.
Why, it's a Hagloe Crab. He's owner of Roxy's Roost Saloon and Casino. Why, it's nothing, Mr. Crab. The deputy here just fell into some oil on my granddaughter's property, and he was just fixing to go home and get cleaned up.
Oil on her granddaughter's property, eh? A new evil scheme is beginning to form, but I'll have to get back to that later. Well, Deputy, I won't keep you. Run along now. I have important business with Mrs. Smith.
Well, it's just you wait a cotton-picking minute, mister.
Oh, go on, Ben. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
All righty, Granny, if you say so. But you mind your manners with her, mister, or you'll be answering to me.
Now, Mr. Crab, what's this here important business you say you have with me? Not that I'd be having any dealings with the likes of you.
Well, Mrs. Smith, I've been noticing for some time what a lovely establishment you have here. I've also been noticing that business hasn't been, shall we say, booming lately. Whereas, on the other hand, my business has been growing by leaps and bounds. So much so that I have found the need to expand.
Well, I think it's terrible what you've done by bringing liquor and gambling into this town. Well, the crime rate has gone up, and fine, decent business folk have up and left town.
And I have purchased many of those businesses at cut-rate prices. Be that as it may, madam, I have decided that I would like to purchase your cafe and bakery at what I believe to be a very reasonable price. Especially since I happen to know that you have lost a great many customers and you are behind on your mortgage.
Well, Mr. Crab, I would rather close down the Ambrosia Cafe and Bakery and tear it down board by board than to let you bring your vices into this place.
Very well, madam. I had hoped to conduct our business in a civilized manner. But be warned, I shall not make this offer again.
Well, I should hope not. There's the door. Kindly see your way out.
As you wish, madam. But she hasn't heard the last of me.
Why, the nerve of that man! To think he wants to bring his liquor and gambling into the very place my dear departed husband and I built with our own two hands. Why, that just burns my bloomers. Well, I guess I better get to the apple pie fixins. Reverend, you mind watching the place for me whilst I go down to the cellar?
Dramatology, soteriology, eschatology.
Thanks. You're a saint.
Quiet. Can't you see I'm trying to be sneaky?
Hellfire.
So, there's oil on Honeygold's farm, eh? These fools don't know that oil is becoming a very valuable commodity. If I play my cards right, and I always do, I'll not only own the Ambrosia Cafe and Bakery, but also a previously undiscovered field of oil. But how do I do it? What sneaky, underhanded, double-dealing plan can I use? Why am I asking you? Wait a minute. Play my cards right. Double-dealing, yes, I think I may have a plan. But I'm going to need help pulling it off.
Oh, Lord.
What's the matter with him? Vacant stare, slurred speech, idiotic grin. Either this man has been hit by a runaway stagecoach, or he has chanced upon none other than my junior partner and co-owner of Roxy's Roost Saloon and Casino, Roxbury Russet.
You called?
Ah, Roxy, I was just thinking of you.
How sweet. It's so nice to know you're being thought about.
Yes, I see you've had an encounter with our deputy. Should I be jealous?
Oh, Haggy, you know there could be no other man in the world for me but you. Unless, of course, he had more money.
I'm glad you're here. I need your help.
You've been scheming again, haven't you?
Yes, I have been scheming, and I've come up with a plan that will not only gain us this property, but will also put me into a position to obtain fabulous wealth.
Fabulous wealth? Oh, I'm all ears, honey.
Not from where I'm standing.
But what do you need me for?
To do what you do best. You, my dear, have the uncanny ability to strike men dumb. In both senses of the word. What I need for you to do is to be a distraction.
No problem there. But there are a lot of people here for the Ambrosia Apple Blossom Festival. Do you want me to distract anyone in particular? Or everyone in general?
Yeah.
Specifically, family. Specifically, I need you to distract the sheriff and his deputy. And it seems you already have a good start on the deputy.
Honestly, I don't even have to try with him.
Good. What about the sheriff?
Have you ever known me to fail?
That's my girl. Now get out of here before someone sees you. I'll let you know when I need you.
All right, Haggy. But don't keep me waiting too long.
She makes quite an entrance, but I really love her exits.